Hi, Miss. Good night. My group, it's gonna talk about the air pollution. Our group members are Diana Cáceres. I'm sorry, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the cap. There you go. Diana Cáceres, Vera Vanegas, myself, Andrea Morales, Cecil Cerantes, and Melissa Bermudez. So let's start by the introduction. You may be wondering what's actually air pollution. I mean, besides the obviously name that it's just contaminating the air, but it is actual the presence of harmful gases or small particles in the air. It's not only made by factories but also by cars when we are burning the fuels, fossil fuels, industrial activities, and agriculture. You may wonder, how is agriculture harmful for the air pollution if it's basically just like a nature-based activity, right? But that's something my classmate would explain to you in the classes. But what I can say right now is that it has to do with the gases. As I said by book, the concept is basically harmful gases. Could be from a organic based or inorganic base, such as an agriculture. It's an organic base form of these gases going to the atmosphere, and then we have like factories and cars and all of the other things that had to do with burning fossil fuels, that they don't come from an organic source, right? So it matters because obviously public health. It is leading cause of premature death globally, driving severe respiratory diseases such as lung cancer, heart attacks, okay? So it not only affects our respiratory system, but also everything that has to go with it. We have environmental survival and economic burden, which is a very interesting reason that this pollution matters, because you may think that because the cars, the factories, and all these things are happening, the economics are good. But actually it's the opposite, because all the economic that we're having in producing, we wasted in public healthcare.
So now I'm going to explain the main causes of air pollution. So basically this is caused by human activities that release harmful gases and particles into the air. The biggest sources include vehicles, factories, and the burning of fuels like coal and gasoline. Also, we have farming activities and livestock. This one can also contribute to affect the air quality by producing gases. Burning trash and cutting down trees can also make the air pollution worse, because we know that trees help us to clean the air. In the other side, we have natural events as wildfires, dust storms, and volcanic eruptions. So all these factors or causes are going to produce gases that affect the atmosphere, and together they're going to reduce the air quality and can affect the human health in the environment.
Now that we know about the causes, I'm going to talk about the effects of air pollution. Air pollution has serious consequences on both us people and the environment. First, it affects human health. Why is that? It's because polluted air can cause respiratory disease such as asthma and bronchitis. It can also increase the risk of heart problems and lung cancer. Air pollution also damages ecosystems. This is because of the harmful gases and particles that contaminate the atmosphere, affect the wildlife, like animals, and reduce the biodiversity. It also contributes to the climate change by increasing something that is called the greenhouse effect. This means that it's contributing to the extreme temperatures and the severe weather. And if air pollution continues to increase, more people will suffer from health problems, especially the ones living in the urban areas that are the most contaminated ones. If governments and industries reduce their emissions, air quality will get better and so many environmental problems will decrease. I really hope that people become more aware of this problem because people tend to ignore it because it's not affecting them directly. And I really wish cities had cleaner air so the future generations won't suffer from any health problems like asthma or bronchitis like I said before. All these effects that I just mentioned show why air pollution is a global problem that requires action.
For the reduce the pollutions, the solution that I present, I think the governments and the companies and the individuals, we must be work together. For example, the government should invest in renewable energy, improve the use of the public transportation, and create strict laws to reduce the emissions. And the companies should use cleaner technologies, reduce the waste, and recycle materials whenever as possible. For the individuals, we can recycle, we can plant more trees, use the bicycle or the public transport, and save the energy at home. If people recycle more often, they will help to reduce the pollution and protect the environment. If governments invest more on the greenhouse gas emissions will decrease. I hope the future generations will live in a cleaner environment. We hope that everyone takes the people responsibility for the protect the planet, and I wish the people we more aware of the effects of air pollution and, and took an action to reduce it.
Air pollution is a serious problem, but it can be reduced if people, the government, and the companies and organizations work together. I wish that in the future the cities will have cleaner air, more green areas, and a better public transportation. I also wish people were more responsible with the environment in general. I think that the government should create stricter laws to control emissions from factories, from cars, and from industries. Companies also should use cleaner technology and invest more in renewable energies. These actions are important because harmful gases, smoke, and all those toxic particles affect human health, wildlife, and ecosystems. If people use more bicycles, walk more, and use the public transportation, they will help to reduce the climate change and the contamination in general. And if governments reduce the gas emissions from factories, the air quality would improve and the climate change would slow down too. In conclusion, air pollution affects our health and damages the planet. However, if we take action now, we can protect future generations and build a cleaner, safer, and healthier world. Thank you.